theme for this year's forum, Imaginary Libraries, the Art of Embodied Chronicles, segues from the close-up of APREX and notes for capturing practice, we in the School of Art Makers in the region representing the cultural landscape, and of course the art makers who are performers and visual artists in their own right. And today, we bring together a diverse group of practitioners across Southeast Asia to present their perspective on the Imagine Library through practice and the arts. In an increasingly digitalized world marked by the advent of tremendous advances in applied technology, coding, algorithms, and machine learning, the artists here today will share their own experiences in an extrapolation of organizing and presenting information, histories, the now, stories, in all their innovative and creative ways.
In this presentation, I would like to ask one volunteer to join the massage. So I will do massage while I do presentation. And the camphor tree is only grows in Sumatra, Malayan Peninsula, and Borneo. We as a villager never seen the tree, and in 2022 I went there, and then for the first time I saw the remains of the camphor tree inside the palm oil plantation. Apparently this forest is sacred for him and also for Batak ethnic groups in North Sumatra. And then at that time I copy all the specimens inside the herbarium, and then this is one of the drawings. It's really not botanical drawings, but I copy exactly what I saw, so to give back the drawings to my family, so my family can see the look. And now the part of the tree is amongst you. Yeah, you can see the part of the tree. When the camphor forest gone, where the god reside? So that was my question. And then, so I think the god is still here among us inside the celluloid, because for the Dutch at the time, they need the camphor tree to create the celluloid. So they mix cotton from India and create cellulose, and then they put the camphor to create the plasticity for the celluloid. So if there's no camphor at that time, there will be no film industry or film history or photography.
In this work, I wrote and then erased an image of the Nora performance, a traditional Southern Thai art form. When the chalk image was erased, only dust remained, settling into a glass jar. This piece explores how intangible cultural heritage like Nora can be temporarily made tangible through drawing, only to return to an intangible state through erasure. The ephemeral act of writing and erasing mirrors the fragility of memory itself. Writing national history and managing personal memory share something vital. Both involve choosing what to remember and what to forget.
In 2022, just after the pandemic, I went to the Petung Kriono forest in central Java. With my friends, I record the sound, the voices of Oa Jawa, the Javanese gibbons. Their magical voices in the forest remind us that their habitat is also affected by the climate change and also the massive deforestation.
There are moments when time thickens and space listens. I've come to believe that the most transformative spaces in arts education are not always those built by design, but those that emerge when people, place, and moment converge. I want to begin today with the idea of the chronotope, drawn by Mikhail Bakhtin. Originally a literary term, it described the interconnectedness of time and space in shaping meaning. But in our context, as artist educators in Southeast Asia, the chronotope becomes something more than metaphor. It becomes a lived reality, a way to see how a rehearsal room becomes a world, how a studio becomes a site of encounter. We are not just teaching skills, we are shaping timescapes. We are making place matter. So what does it mean to be an artist educator who archives time and space? Not with files or folders, but through presence, through care. I believe the collaborative lab has become such a site. Each brought with them their own urgencies. But what emerged was a collective spirit.
And that brings me to the next work, Phases, which actually draws on the motif of the moon, which is in the title of the work. So I think we all imagine the moon a certain way, and here is a sample of how different people who have made videos about the music piece imagine the moon. And it's interesting to me because we only see the moon when the sun hits the surface of the moon. So that's why we get the different phases. And on YouTube, contrary to what we believe, when there is a YouTube video that doesn't get watched after a while, YouTube actually downrests the videos. So we would think that if you uploaded something to YouTube, it's like saved forever, but that's not true. So if not enough people watch the video, the platform would actually take it down and then turn it into a lower resolution. So against a very long timeline, a YouTube video that doesn't get to be seen when there is no light going through a computer screen or a screen of any sort, it actually slowly gets lost. Yeah, and I thought that was quite interesting because it's the same for this piece. It started with one recording. If there was no second person interested in it, no 10th person interested in it, it would just become one of those archives that lie, it would just become one of those recordings that lie in the archive.
In the end, the Golden Boy challenged us to rethink the heritage to what is seen and what had been lost, and to listen more closely to the story embedded in the local landscape. And the story of Golden Boy may answer the question from the conference, can art be truly devoid of the historical context?
The Caravaggio Opera Omnia exhibition at BSEC featured HD digital reproductions, which sparked debates about authenticity versus accessibility. Critics questioned whether these light boxes could truly represent artistic value. Our creative research transformed artworks by Professor Singh and his first-generation students housed in the National Gallery into exhibition experiences that provide an audience with alternative form of engagement, aiming to create lasting impressions. The research challenge was creating maximum content delivery with minimal resources,
which examine how VR can evoke empathy and historical awareness by immersing viewer in the life and legacy of Thailand's beloved monarch. This one started off as my bronze sculptures, which I'm showing to you now. This one I utilized Unreal Engine and also using reality capture to capture physical objects and made them into the virtual reality exhibition. So within this experience, they can check and also see the exhibition as if they are actually walking into the real physical exhibition.
I think it's a journey that is the cheapest journey that anyone can take, but it's also the most daunting and most difficult journey. And then as artists, because I work in film and photography, sometimes we imagine that is from the subconscious or something from the metaphysical, and then we channel it to something that is physical, so that it can be communicated to others. And then as a healer, in a way, like, I think art in a way is about humanizing humans. I think we reach a point where what we call, like in the Malay language, is memanusiakan manusia. You know, there are different ways when art becomes a bridge where we try to, and perhaps this artistic education, this dialogue is also a way for us to see whether the art can bring us to a better level.
Berkarya seperti juga makan atau membuat nasi campur sebagai heritage kuliner ASEAN. Dan Indonesia adalah negara yang serba nasi campur, maka karya saya seperti Samsara itu mencampur segala aspek, yaitu berbagai bentuk seni seperti film bisu, wayang kulit, dan kemudian ada tradisi, baik itu tradisi Bali, kemudian ada bahkan menggabung dan unsur-unsur balet, dan kemudian ada teknomusik digabung dengan tradisi Bali, dan kemudian visual art